Hey everybody, Norm from Tested here at Wonderfest 2026. Once again with Chris Benware.
Hi Norm, how you doing?
Chris, great to see you.
I love when you come around.
Absolutely, of the Nerf Herders Workshop, of course.
Yes.
If you guys don't know, it's a wonderful community of model makers and builders who really support each other.
It's a really positive place to people to come to new builders even that aren't sure about, they don't want to put their stuff out there and get blasted and made fun of, but and that's not allowed there. Like, we positive reinforcement and like constructive criticism is always welcome. You know,
I got nothing to criticize about what I see in front of me because this is your naked X-wing. This to you told me is a finished model.
This is finished. Yes.
This is finished. We've seen many of X-wings, many a X-wing here at Wonderfest this year, of course, with the Van Nuys 76 group, but this one doesn't have a paint job.
Nope.
It doesn't have any paint identifiers.
Nope.
Tell me about this model and why you want to leave it bare like this.
So this is actually red too.
Okay.
And I had originally bought the fuselage from Jason Eaton, and he gave me the wings. And I wanted to do red 2 because red 2 is very different than all the other X-wings. The kit parts back here on the engines are a totally different pattern. Like all the rest of them are the same, but this one is completely different. So I like different things. I like sail barges. I like,
Sand crawlers.
Sand crawlers.
And remember when we met you 2 years ago, and you showed your sand crawler build, that impressive interior detailed, exterior detailed sand crawler build. The first time we saw it was unfinished.
Yes.
And we had a whole conversation about how you kind of want to leave it there. It will only exist in that unpainted state for so long, but that lets you appreciate, all the styrene work, all the labor that you had put into it, plus all the research and found parts that the community had fed into it.
Right.
That's what this is.
Yeah, well, I mean, the sandcrawler I really wanted to leave naked. Okay, I really did. But after time, the styrene will start to yellow, and most of that is styrene. Okay, most of that is the styrene plastic. And after time, like I said, it will start to yellow. So I knew I had to paint it because otherwise it would have looked ugly. Yeah. And I found it more beautiful in its kit part form. And even to this day, when I sprayed it, I was disappointed.
You were regretting it.
I was regretting it. Well, I knew I had to, but I was regretting it.
Yeah.
And I've always looked at like the build, because there's not a lot of pictures out in the wild of models that are in this form. They're usually primed or painted. But each one of these parts is a different color, and like you see the C-Lab, it's phenomenal.
So yes, this is the rare chance that we have, because of what you've built, to help folks out there understand what goes into making a kind of a kit-bashed X-wing as the original ILM model makers did. Fuselage, I understand it's a casting, right? But when I hear acrylic wings, like that's an acrylic.
Yes, the top is acrylic, and then the insides are actually hollow, and there's kit parts inside of there as well, and then these are styrene sheets. So it's technically hollow. I think, I'm not Jason is an expert on X-Wings, I'm not. I think they've put wires through to get to light up in here. I mean, maybe.
And that's through the hollow part underneath.
Yeah, through the hollow part.
So etched acrylic, etched styrene, different processes for those panel lines, and then layering styrene on top of found parts.
Yes.
Tell me about the found parts.
The found parts, what a lot of people, way before me, went through and they looked at all the pictures and they compared known kit donors and sprues and tried to find, okay, this is the C-Lab, this is the Messerschmitt, this is, different parts from different ships and tanks and airplanes, and they spent a lot of time doing this.
And the engines are, when you say C-Lab, you say it so colloquially, like you know exactly what it is. Tell me what C-Lab is.
C-Lab is an Aurora C-Lab model kit from, I think, the 60s.
Yeah.
And it's used a lot on New Hope models, especially the Sandcrawler, Mount Millennium Falcon, and it's very, very distinct because it has this beautiful golden orange.
Yeah.
It's my favorite part. Like when I see a C-Lab part on an X-wing or any other part, any other model, I'm instantly drawn to it. It's the basis of my Nerf Herder logo. It's got the yellow and everything, but like. What I especially after that Sandcrawler, I've always loved how these models look as in kit part form. And I didn't even intentionally plan on doing this one in kit part form. I had started, I always want to make them as they were made by the ILMers, okay? By building it through kits. But what's distinct about the X-Wing though is a lot of X-Wings, almost all of the X-Wings weren't made like this with all the kit parts. They would take a part like this and cast it.
Right. You make one hero model, then
Yes.
that becomes the basis for all the castings for the Pyros and the other heroes.
So from what Jason told me, he told me that he's never seen an X-Wing in this form. So to me, that was even more appealing. Okay, but I still had planned on painting it. But as I started building it and posting pictures on Nerf Herders group, there were so many people telling me, you can't paint that, you can't paint that. And then I just decided, you know what, I'm leaving it as is. I love all the different reds and yellows and blues, and in the cockpit it has all those different colors. And the brass, you know, the brass on the brass torpedo tubes on the sides really stand out.
Well, it doesn't look incomplete. It to me almost evokes McQuarrie concept art.
Yes, it does.
Right,
Yeah.
it evokes the sketches.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And because it has the line work stretches almost beyond the page of the drawing. Right. The lines are way more visible to me.
Yeah.
The brass work is especially beautiful.
Stands out. Like even on the wires back here. Like these tubes. I found a picture that showed that these were brass tubes and glued them in and grinded this is the brass tube, and I grinded it down until it was flush.
Right.
And I mean, that's my favorite part of the whole thing is all brass and, you know, also the C-Lab. But like, take for example, this droid strip, okay? All the droid strips on every single X-Wing are basically the same. I think there's maybe a variation or two here, but they just took this and cast it and made couple, like 20, 30 of them, or whatever it is, and used the same exact thing to cover up the internal workings of the armature, you know, the set screws that hold this apart, because this can open and close.
Yours is actually from donor parts?
Oh yeah, everything on here is donor parts.
How many donor model kits to make one of the droid strips? Or
1, 2, 3, probably 10.
10 different model kits that they have on hand, of course, that went across many different models. But you're sourcing as many of the actual original sprues as possible.
Right. I bought like the old Messerschmitt, the blue, because I like and like this one here. These little tiny cones here are from a Nichimo 350 Yamato, and it's incredibly rare to find. Like I've only come across one. Other people have them too, but
no castings for you, no 3D prints of any parts.
No.
All as the original one hero.
I don't even think there was an original one. I think from what Jason has told me, there was never an original one that was all kit parts like this.
By that point, people were working on different parts, and then they were
cast in individual pieces, like the cannons and the engines and even the back. If I could turn it around, like the back is the money shot. Like it's got, you know, like here's the mount. There's a mount in there for if they wanted to do it, like, you know, from the back. And on the sides here are also kit parts where they cover the mounts. These are Hummel 115th Bandai Hummels. They covered the mounts through there. It's just, it's staying as is. I'm really happy with, like, I wanted to do an all kit part form something, and you know, I had thought about doing like the probe droid pod, dispatch probe droid pods, because there's one that I would paint, one that I'd leave, but then my group urged me to keep this the way it is, and I'm very happy they did. I'm thankful they did, and it made for a special piece in my collection.
It is really, really special. And the canopy as well. This is also wonderful. All your etching here, all the panel lines, or?
No, this was a cast piece.
Okay,
this is a cast piece.
Got it.
Because I'd never intended to use this because I wanted to do the cockpit open.
Okay.
But I figured I might as well have it. But the cockpit was the important part for me, all the parts.
And these are all donor parts as well. And that's as the original cockpit was laid out.
Laid out. And then, like I said, cast 20, 30 times, you know, whatever it is that they did.
Yeah. Would you want to mold any of these?
No.
No?
Well, I mean, there's so many molds out there.
Okay.
There's so many mold. Every single X-wing in here is a mold of this, and like John Simmons, my friend over in England, every time I'd post something up, he would comment how I never remember how many kit parts are on this here because I see it as a
Monolithic thing.
Yeah, monolithic thing, exactly. And you can't differentiate like this buffalo from this, top of my head I can't think of what it is. But yeah, but now like you look at this and you say, oh, okay, yeah, that's a kit part there. That's not just a gray.
As you're building it, as you're feeling it, do you feel the different plastics or the different finishes and the different tolerances? Like, do you have a feel for like how the different sprues feel? Like,
there are different consistencies in sprues. Yeah, they're made from different plastics for sure.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoy researching this.
Yeah.
My wife gets upset with me because I'm laying in bed with on my phone trying to find one part.
Yeah.
Well, specifically one part, which is this part right here. Okay.
That was the hardest one to find.
Well, see, everybody had been looking at X-wings for how many years, and no one noticed this part
Sticking out.
Sticking out. It's in that little square that's in the break in the styrene, and I sent a message to Jason. I'm like, "What part is that?" He's like, "I've never seen that part." So like, I'm sure maybe somebody's seen it, but in our little community, nobody had seen it, and I was able to ID it because he didn't know what it was, and nobody else knew what it was, just by sheer luck. Like I just happened to click on a link that had a kit scan, and right there it was. I was like,
wow,
blown away. It's in a really obscure, tiny 1/1200th battleship that you could only get over in England.
Wow.
So yeah,
wow.
That's the exciting thing about it. Like there are a lot of people from RPF that were building all this, and they've been looking at these for years, and they kind of looked at them a lot, and then they kind of drifted to something else. But then, like a lot of people that are in my group are newer modelers, and they're seeing things with different eyes and looking at it like, oh, well, what is that? What is that? Like, it's kind of cool. Yeah.
That is amazing. And again, the tactility of it, just metal feels different when you touch it, right?
Yes.
And metal with paint, with primer, with paint, is going to feel different than the exposed brass.
Yeah.
And so, it's your model. I'm sure you holding it, putting your hands on it, you're connecting to the past.
Yes.
It is, and it reminds you of all the research.
Well, I like feeling like I was there building it. Like
You put yourself in that headspace.
Channeling myself
Exactly.
through their headspace.
Exactly.
Like obviously,
Yeah.
So this is my passion. Like, and it's going to be hard for me not to do all of my pieces in kit part form anymore. Like I want to do a TIE fighter next, and I know I got to paint it, but I don't really want to.
Yeah. So. Well, from the X-Wing, we also want to remind folks that last year you had showed us a work in progress of your concept art Jabba's barge, and this is done now.
This is finished, yeah, finally.
Oh my goodness. Tell me about what took to get from what we saw last year, which was the layers on the decks, to the finished thing.
So last year was up to here on this, right at this part.
Yeah.
Okay. And like I said before, the guys in my group helped with so many aspects of this. Like Bjorn, the guy who did the AT-AT legs, he helped me with this pattern, like just to copy what's on the concept sketch over there. And then like even this pattern and this pattern and Jabba's tattoo in the front. So many people have helped me in so many ways to build this. And I got a new laser cutter. So the laser cutter etched all this, and I cut all these pieces with it. But the big challenge was to do the sails.
Yeah.
I wasn't 100% how that was going to turn out, how I was going to do it. I'm not much of a planner. I'm more of a find that obstacle and get over it. But it actually worked out so good. My original idea was to hang these by, this is braided fishing line, okay? But I tried it just sagged. So these are metal rods that are actually taking, and this thing's solid. Like it
takes the load.
Yeah. Takes all the load. So those are just decorative,
Yeah.
This has been a passion of mine for 2 years now, and it's never been done, probably never will be done again. I don't think anybody's going to take the time to go as far as I did with it. But Yeah, it's finished now.
Everything from the display, the mirrored base to see the bottom,
Yeah.
the lights, the sounds that you have on this.
Yeah.
It's so playful,
Yep.
and it really takes, it allows a lot of creativity.
Yeah,
right?
throughout the whole thing, like even the top layer, I had planned on what I was going to do the first 2 layers, like it has Cantina Band, and I tried to take a lot of scenes from the movie, and it was like an original thought was the first floor is New Hope, the second floor is Empire, the third floor is Jedi, but other than like a lot of the Jabba the Hutt aliens, there's not a lot of scenes you can add to. There's the Chewbacca and Bouch scene, but that was a struggle to be creative and figure out what to do with that. And then trying to do the sales was a whole new ballgame.
It's so inspirational. You can go from something that has extremely rigid constraints guidelines of replicating from the most rarest of parts to something that's very free form that you are then adding to the canon of what the original concept artist, what Ralph McQuarrie did. That is so cool. Chris, congratulations on these. I can't wait to see your naked TIE fighter next year. Maybe not next year.
Well, but, I put a lot. I do spend a lot of time in the garage, but I have to have something. I have to always be working in the garage. It's keep me sane, So it's what I love to do.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the wonderful community as well. We'll have links to Nerf Workers Workshop for folks to join, of course. And it's great seeing you at Wonderfest.
Great seeing you.